the biggest advice I could give you right now, the biggest advice that anybody could give you, and this is not my words. Woody Allen told me this. He said, I said, Woody, what's the secret to success? He said, 85 to 90% of life is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen. Okay?
I don't give a fuck who's doing better than me. I'm not competing with you. I'm not competing with them. Why do I care? This is a me versus me thing. I am only worried about the competition I have with the past versions of myself. I don't give a fuck about who's doing better than me subjectively to other people's opinions. I don't give a fuck. I am simply trying to ask myself, am I better than I was last year? How was I 10 years ago, 5 years ago? Am I a different person now? Am I more valuable now than I was back then? Am I doing better for myself now? Who do I want to be? How am I going to get there? I am only competing with versions of myself that I remember. I don't give a fuck who's doing better than me. I don't have any intentions on competing with you. I'm only competing with me.
You all ever heard the story about Ferrari and Lamborghini? The guy whose last name is Lamborghini, he wasn't a car manufacturer. He was a man who owned tractors. But he drove Ferraris. And he went up to the Ferrari man because he knew something about engine parts. He made a suggestion to the Ferrari man about how his cars could be a little better. And the man who drove the Ferrari, who owned the Ferrari company, looked at the tractor man and said, your advice is not important. Because see, sometimes you don't understand that there are Ferrari people now, but you have a Lamborghini destiny. And what he did is, instead of arguing with the man who owned Ferrari, he went and created the Lamborghini and fixed what was broken in the Ferrari. And then let me tell you something, some of y'all keep arguing with Ferrari. Would you just become Lamborghini?
So here's a simple tip to get people to respect you more in social settings and in business. Number one, stop being so friendly. Instead of you trying to sit there and prove yourself to other people, let them prove themselves to you. Be very respectful, be very cordial, but just communicate and be very direct. Being overly nice early on will cause people to take advantage of you, take you for granted, and not truly respect you and perceive you as someone with high value. Second is showing massive indifference. And you don't even have to fake this, but you have to realize that getting the wrong person in your life from either a friendship, relationship, or business thing is going to cause more harm than any potential good. You want to make sure it's the right people. So instead of you just being needy and wanting to communicate or talk to anybody, instead show indifference and first figure out if this person is even a good fit for you.
A salary is the drug they give you when they want you to forget about your dreams, because it's very easy to stay in that world where somebody is mitigating your risk. You just have to perform certain tasks, do them well for a third of your day, and they will feed you a salary.
Look at us three and our age group. When many of the listeners in their 40s, late 30s, early 50s, 30 years ago are buying stock, investing in real estate, and you're calling it a day. We're living through a culture change at the 35 to 55-year-old range, and we're more cash. Look at me, I'm a 45-year-old, very successful businessman. Nobody I knew when I was 18 dressed like this. It's younger culture. It's just the way it is now. People are healthier, they live longer. Our grandparents at 45 were finished. Everyone's so much younger now. What does that mean? That means what we invest in is younger now. Whether it's NFTs or sports cards, comic books, or video games, two other things that I think are going to start popping heavy. I just think that I'd rather own a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in its original box than buying a fucking painting at Sotheby's from the 1800s. And I think that will play out. And you've got the Robinhood crowd, the Reddit crowd, the NFT crowd. Alternative investments are here to stay.
When you wake up early and you get a jump on the day and you've got your workout done and you've got a little bit of work done, by the time normal people are getting up, that's a win. That's a psychological win. And it's not just a psychological win, it's an actual win. It's an actual win. So that feels great. It doesn't feel great maybe when your alarm clock goes off, but by 8 o'clock in the morning and you've already accomplished some of the major tasks that you have, some of the most painful tasks that you have for the day, you're off to a great start and it's going to feel great.
Money's a game. You need cash because opportunity is going to come up, and it's a doubles game. Everything about money is a doubles game.
What's that mean?
A doubles game to me is I pay you $1,000. Can we double it in 6 months? No. How long? In 12 months? Okay, no problem. I'll do double in a year. Here's $1,000. I get a double back, right? So if you take 1,000 and you double it every year, what happens? 1,000 goes into 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 256, 5, 12, $1 million. $1,000 is 9 doubles away from $1 million.
Then does your environment control your thinking, or does your thinking control your environment? So if you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed on the same exact side as you did the day before, you shut the alarm clock off with the same finger, you slip into your favorite slippers, you shuffle into the bathroom and you use the toilet like you always do, then you walk over to the mirror and you look at yourself to remember who you are, then you get into the shower and you wash yourself in the same routine way, then you groom yourself to look like everybody expects you to look, then you go downstairs and you drink coffee out of your favorite mug, then you drive to work the same way as you did the day before, you see the same people that push the same emotional buttons, you do the exact thing that you know how to do and you memorize and can do so well that you're an expert at, then you hurry up and rush home so you can hurry up and check your emails, so you can hurry up and go to bed, so you can hurry up and do it all over again. Now, here's my question. Did your brain change at all that day?
Let's say you could only save $10 a week. You invested that $10 in the stock market, and you did this for 10 weeks. It doesn't sound like much, but now you've accomplished something, and that tends to make you want to do more. So for the next 10 weeks, you picked up an extra hour of work and invested $20. Now you're the type of person who can go farther than the average person. You're the type of person who looks for opportunities. So an idea pops into your mind for how to get a pay raise, then a new job, then a business idea. You become a different person based on your actions. $10 is a small amount of money to invest, but it's a huge amount of money to change what type of person you are.